This is the audio file for my treatment for my A2 main task research and planning blog. Above or below this audio file there should be the synopsis, which has changed many times due to us thinking or adapting new ideas and incorporating them into our synopsis and getting rid of the older ones. It's changed many times over, however long we've been doing this main task. For I say our film or our ideas of the trailer are definitely influenced by certain films. Some of the more recent slashers, such as The Last House on the Left, the Scream series, but particularly the first, and The Strangers, have definitely I'd say definitely affected some of our decisions. I don't want to say we've based it on them. Also, the setting or the ideas for the setting comes from older films such as Chainsaw Massacre and Wolf Creek, because I think it's probably more scary, the more rural setting out of space, we had, from the start of our synopsis, I definitely had planned a few scenes that I'd finally incorporate into the trailer. Some of these scenes probably won't make it. The main scenes focus on the rural area where the murders or where the victims are found. These will probably be parks or the woods around where me or the other group members live. There is also a few other scenes we plan to have a CSI or any other police TV programs where they have the murder board or they have the suspects, and that we plan to use one of them, and it will feature the victims and a map of where they are, and for a few quick shots it will slowly zoom in, and then before you see every victim it will sort of jump to that victim and it will flash, so it's like a camera. I have also got some other scenes which I do intend on. I'm going to at least try get into the final film because I believe quite good and they're quite innovative. I wanted to get a running sort of POV shot in, like a chase scene where a character is running, and in between random bits of running, not random, but in between the chase they're running, it'd be split apart by the title, so it'd pop up saying Mo Pictures or Off With Their Head Films or whatever other production film company we have. And then at the end, not at the end, but before the end, the person who's running would fall over. And then right at the end of the trailer, just to close it after it's popped up saying coming soon or whatever, you'd see the antagonist, the monster, the villain, appear just above the camera. So the camera would be on the floor falling over with whoever was running, and then you'd see I thought it was pretty good, but hopefully it makes it in. And there's also another scene, if the running POV shot didn't make it in, I had intended for at the end we'd see the detective sat down at his desk, busy working away trying to solve the case, and then there'd be a darkness behind him which you wouldn't see, and then slowly, just as the trailer's about to close, you see the antagonist sort of step out, sort of hover behind the detective, and then we'd get a closer shot of the detective's face where you'd see his eyes look up, and then end sound and all that. It's hard to say what general conventions we followed. I'd definitely say well, in the trailer, it's kind of hard to say, really. Well, I followed more like I'd say it's more suspenseful, more thrillerish, the way it's shot and the way it should, the way it should be shot, and like, but it will include like more of the older horror conventions, such as the seemingly indestructible antagonist who walks through bullets and that. Of course, we can't have bullets in our film. Not that we have anyway. I also wanted the film, while it showed like a bit of the intended film, it would not show too much and not give away too much. So it'd still be a lot for the audience to guess, and like shock endings and such. For our locations, we are intending to shoot more on a more rural location, with the hopes that by the time we shoot there won't be many people around, so you don't have to worry about some old lady popping in, or like the police being called because like we're branching a plastic murder weapon. There will also be a few office type scenes, mainly the ones which feature the boarding, so it like fits in with the whole detective for our victims, we have a more casual sort of costume. They generally wore like what they wore on the day, and then either they might have a bit of fake blood, or it just be kind of implied like how. And the detective wore a formal suit, so it's like shirt and tie, etc. And the antagonist, he kind of has a different costume. The main focus, or the main intended focus, was to have a mask like the Strangers, or one of the characters in the Strangers, where it's like a sack mask. And I don't know whether I wanted like eye holes cut into it, because it might seem a bit more scary if there are no eye holes. But so the mask, you'd have a mask. It's basically pretty much a potato sack on his head, and then he'd have. This is where it differs. He'd have, depending on, it was originally a lab coat, but it's been shredded and got loads of dirt, and paint, and fake blood in the trailer, and I also wanted some establishing shots or long shots in the film to kind of promote the setting more than, example, the characters. With most shots being preferably dark, so kind of like moody to stick with the horror genre. For the sound's gonna fit with the setting and the lighting, hopefully. More like dark music, well, not dark, but like dark sounding, so like a spine tingling music, which like the audience will hopefully be able to identify with. Sounds in the actual trailer will be hopefully, or most likely, ambient sounds in the background, so like the crunching of leaves when someone's walking or running. We'll also have maybe a voiceover, and so like if someone screams in the trailer, then that will be accompanying it. Whilst we're editing it and adding effects later after we filmed it, we've like discussed whether to make a few shots black and white to make them stand out more, and some of the shots, particularly the ones which show the victims, we wanted to be fast editing to build more suspense, although some longer takes would be useful to kind of break up the flow and slow certain bits down before the ending and such. titles in the trailer are probably going to be used to break, or used as breaks, or to break up shots. So you kind of see half the scene, and then not a trailer, a title would pop up, and kind of split the scene up, so it builds more suspense. I think the target audience, or well, the intended target audience, is pretty much our peers, so younger people. Maybe I think the film is a 15, so with 15 to about 24, 25, younger people anyway. Sorry about that. Yeah, target audience will be young, most of our peers, so 15 to 24, and we kind of like adhering to their tastes. I mean, I want the film to seem more realistic. I don't want it to be all fake. Well, not all fake, but I want it to seem believable. So like stuff you'd actually be scared of. Yeah. Well, I think that's about it for the treatment. This sound seems like it's gone on for very long. Probably a lot longer than anyone's got attention span to last. But yeah, that's the treatment. Thank you.